And hello again, I'm Dylan Black. It's Rogers Television Daytime Ottawa, another action-packed episode. Indeed, perhaps mealtime is stressing you out. Stress no more, because we have Charmaine Broughton with us, food specialist. Hello, Charmaine.
How are you?
You're going to de-stress us?
I am.
In a big way? Oh, wow. There you go.
But no kale required.
Really? Oh, you need to, is that a disclaimer at the beginning?
Well, yeah, so the reason why this is stress-free is because I want to encourage people to use ingredients from their from their pantry, right? Because I think that the most important part of being healthy is being stress-free as well, right? So if you're trying to recreate recipes maybe that you don't have a lot of the ingredients for, or you're running around to a number of different grocery stores to get the ingredients, and then come mealtime, you're all, frantic and stress-free and, and stressed out about preparing these dishes, then there's nothing healthy about that, right? Yeah. So I say we get back to basics.
Back to basics. It's good to get back to, and then you can use up all that stuff in your pantry that you spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on.
You got it. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. So where do you want to start, Charmaine?
So let's just start with breakfast. So as we know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I'm sure you've had a number of guests on before talking about overnight oats. And the reason why we talk about it is because it's simple, nutritious, and uses all those pantry staple items. So the base of this is oats, and then I've thickened it up with some smooth cottage cheese. And then, to pack it full of some more nutrients, I've added some chia seeds and sunflower seeds, some Macintosh apple that is in season right now, a little bit of maple syrup and orange juice. You stir everything together, store it in the mason jars, and then the kids can eat it on their bus, or you can, portion it out in the morning. Healthy, delicious, easy, and very economical as well.
And how long would that store for if you can't eat it the next day?
Yeah, it would last in the fridge for up to maybe 2 days. What I recommend to people, whether it's the overnight oats or something else, try to prepare enough that your family's going to eat within a couple days, right? You don't want to be, if it's just a family of two, you don't want to be preparing, loads and loads of food and then having it go to waste.
Okay. Can I ask you about social media? Because sometimes, especially this world of Instagram, people are always putting their food up. Now, does that actually stress people out because people compare their food or their dishes?
I absolutely... yes, I do think it does. So what I really recommend to people is, again, just bring it back to basics. And if somebody, is posting something on Instagram, really think twice. Is their little, 3-year-old really eating that mini egg white omelet with sautéed kale and some sort of fancy seed? Likely not.
Sounds good, though, eh?
It does sound good, but, we don't want to be comparing ourselves to other people. But you know what your toddler will eat, or your teenage boy, I have two of, will eat, is sandwiches.
Of course.
Brown bag lunches, just, again, so simple. So I've just got a sandwich here. And the great thing about sandwiches is you can let your kids be in control of what they put in their lunch, right? And getting your kids involved in the kitchen is a huge step to being stress-free in the kitchen as well. And if they've prepared their meal, then chances are they will eat it. So I'm starting off the sandwich here with some Country Harvest bread. So this is their 12-grain bread, and it's just an amazing blend of a ton of whole grains, but a ton of flavor as well. So yes, it's bread, but it's still nourishing your body. Bread is not bad. Bread is delicious.
Well, especially Country Harvest, I've always found that they specialize in making it healthy.
They absolutely do. So it's a combination of nutritious and delicious. And then, your veggies, and what goes better with veggies than dip. So Gailey has come out with this awesome new dip. So they've got 2 flavors, roasted red pepper and dill ranch. And it's actually made with smooth cottage cheese. So it's lower in fat, lower in calories, higher in protein. And I mean, if you want your kids to eat veggies, offer them a dip with it, and yeah, they're just like best friends.
Okay, so cheating is okay in this regard in what I'm about to say here.
Okay.
Pre-wash, pre-cut, that kind of stuff makes things easy?
Yes. So with, veggies, if you want your kids to take veggies to school, you can go to the grocery store now, and they offer a variety of pre-washed, pre-chopped vegetables. So there's really no excuse not to be eating healthy, right? So cut corners where you can. You don't need to be in the kitchen slaving away over, piles and piles of vegetables. Cut corners where you can. Again, just bring it back to basics so everyone's happier and healthier for it.
Basics are good. And you've got, this looks amazingly
Yes.
yummy, tasty. So how does this make your life simple with this dish?
Well, so sheet pan dinners, again, I'm sure you've had guests on the show talking about it, but we talk about it for a reason. So it's really just one dish, right? Like your baking sheet. You line it with parchment paper. Now, this recipe is the Southern Barbecue Sheet Pan Dinner from peanutbureau.ca. Peanuts and peanut butter, they're staples in Canadian homes. High in protein, loaded with healthy fats. So let's incorporate peanuts and peanut butter into mealtime, right? Because if we already have it in our pantry. So I've got some sweet potatoes, some pork tenderloin, some corn on the cob. If you can't get your hands on corn on the cob right now, you could use acorn squash. Basically, you toss everything together, roast it off at 425 for about 25 minutes, beginning to end about half an hour, 7 ingredients, and that's including salt and pepper,
Super
right?
easy.
It is super easy, and this is a great recipe. Have your teens, when they get home from school, before they play Fortnite, get them into the kitchen and have them preparing dinner. I mean, my son's 17, I have a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. This is something that they can totally do on their own.
Yeah.
Then you keep a little bit of this barbecue sauce that you've made with peanut butter and barbecue sauce aside for dipping, and then you garnish it with some fresh lime juice, and then I like to top it with peanuts for like an extra crunch. Family can come along with their dinner plates, load it up, and away they go.
Look, there's a knife and a fork.
There is.
Can
so
I try
have a nice hunk
Where's
of
right here?
the pork. Yes, oink oink.
Hunk of pork.
And on the oink oink note, dessert. So these are the double peanut chocolate pretzel bites. If you if you've got some pretzels hanging around for maybe watching, hockey or something, and some chocolate, it's an awesome dessert, because I think one of the healthiest things that you can do is not deprive yourself. Have dessert.
Of course, it's all in moderation.
It totally is. And on that note,
Oh, okay. You're going to try your own dessert?
oh, I absolutely. Well, I know I'm sweet
That's
enough,
okay.
but
Yes, definitely. All this information and much more, of course. Your website is super handy.
yes. So everyone can go to CharmaineBroughton.com for all of these simple tips. And again, if you just take one thing away from this segment, just bring it back to basics, and I guarantee you and your family will be happier and healthier for it.
Charmaine, thank you very much as she enjoys her own dessert. We've got much more daytime coming up in moments on Rogers TV.